Oh yes.
I told her to leave at 3:45.
That is okay. Da.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, sir?
Let me introduce Adelina, who is pursuing BCom second year at WCC College. She is a center holder in computer science and she has won Best Speaker Award at her college debate. First place in Tamil Nadu's Youth Festival Prompt Engineering. Adelina is a single child. Both her parents are physically unwell and are unable to work. Adelina is a first generation graduate and the breadwinner of her family. Before supporters, mentors, and well wishers who stood by us through the years. Before we begin, I kindly request you to turn your devices on silent mode and be fully present during the next hour.
This day holds deep significance as we honor the memory of Mr. Sugan Thomas, whose legacy continues to illuminate the lives of countless boys and girls, shaping their futures in ways that truly reflect his vision. At this moment, I invite all of you to kindly stand as we observe a few moments of silence in remembrance of Mr. Sugan Thomas. May his enduring memory continue to inspire and uplift us all.
Highlight the remarkable talents within our community and express heartfelt thanks for the countless blessings that have shaped journey thus far. I would like to extend a very special welcome to our esteemed chief guest Mr. Subramaniam Venkatachalam and his wife. We are truly privileged We are truly privileged to have you both of us with us today, and we appreciate the time you have dedicated to be in our midst. Our warmest welcome also goes to our generous donors and well wishers. Your steadfast support is the cornerstone of our success, and without your kindness and contributions, none of this would have been possible. A heartfelt welcome goes to our dedicated mentors. Today, we celebrate you as much as we celebrate our achievements. Your love, care, and guidance have been instrumental in shaping the lives of many students under this foundation.
I'm Shrikant Saravanan and I'm 21 years old engineering student specializing in electronics and communication engineering with a CGPA of 8.48 up to my 6th semester in Assistant College of Engineering, Chennai. My journey began in a small village where my family instilled in me the values of hard work and resilience. And my father worked tirelessly in the 3 acres of land to support my family of 5, which includes me and my mother and my 2 brothers who are pursuing their higher studies. When I reached my 9th standard, our financial situation worsened, yet my father managed to keep me in a private school. However, after completing my 10th standard, I'm no longer able to afford private school. So I shifted to a common graded school, which was 35 kilometers away from my home. So I used to travel with cycle for 10 kilometers and use bus and a train and walk for 1 kilometers to reach the school, where I found affordability and support there. Yet life continued to test us. Then came the pandemic, which brought unimaginable challenges with it. My eldest brother completed his studies and began to work and became the pillar of my family. As my father's health started declining, Tragically, during the second wave of COVID-19, my elder brother contracted virus and he passed away. This heartbreak shattered our family and I felt deeply lost. The grief continued. My whole family was infected, falling ill one after the other. First my mother, then my father, and then me. My mother and my other brother eventually recovered, but my father and I were hospitalized, filling me with fear not only for our life but also our future also. When I returned,
Lavanya, who is also in her final year of BSc Nursing at St. Teresa's Church of College of Nursing, Bangalore. They have come all the way from Bangalore to be part of this event. If Tulasi and Nancy are here, it's a big shout out to the mentors at our Bangalore chapter, who are superheroes for our Bangalore students.
Thank you, Adelina, for welcoming us. Indeed, Nancy and I are here. Many thanks to the confidence and support to our mentors who ignited the spirit of gratitude in us by simply being there for us every step of the way.
I agree with Tulsi. Let us invite everyone to get a sneak peek into our mentor-mentee relationship.
Only the highs. But unfortunately, this year we have had one big low as well, which literally has brought us to a halt. You all know that we started in 2005 following the untimely death of Sugun Thomas and the need that was felt to keep his memory alive. Higher education seemed to be the path less traveled by most NGOs because it was rather expensive, and that is where we delved right in. We struggled in the beginning, but kept it going as we had the faith and the fire. However, today, for the first time in nearly 15 years, we have selected children in single digits. Only 6 children this year. Not because there weren't any deserving children, not because the schools did not put them forward, not because there were other organizations to help them, but only because we didn't have enough funds. Verghese, our treasurer, will elaborate on that. But let me be the one to give you all the highs of this year. So, as I said, 24 to 25, 6 new children were selected. This were in addition to the existing 96 beneficiaries. So, as of now, we have 102 beneficiaries who are sitting here right now. These beneficiaries are in various educational streams. We have engineers, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have paramedical staff, we have BComs, BScs, BAs, CAs, and we have 65 girls and 37 boys. I don't know why. Just what happened. Maybe girls are just smarter. The current beneficiaries are studying at various locations: Chennai, Kanchipuram, Viluppuram, Salem, Coimbatore, Trichy, Yelagiri, Pondicherry, Bangalore, and Kerala. So if anyone here has come from outstation, I'd like you to please stand up so that we could just see you. Anyone who has come here from outstation, children? Yeah. Okay. They come all the way to here just to be here. Give them a big thank you. Our overall count is 407, of which 200 have received full benefit from us, 100 have received partial, and the rest are studying. So we make a total of 407. Now, out of the 199 who we have given full support to, 182 are employed, 9 are pursuing higher studies, and 9 have completed looking for jobs. Gina, our selection head and founder, has said there are 55 needy, brilliant students on the wait list who have requested support for their education, and including a few orphans. We need approximately 1 lakh per child per year. That is our average. There is Tarun and Agilbert. Agilbert somewhere. There you are. And Leela Prasad. You're somewhere. There you are. So all of them are rich fellows now. So we had another 2 children who actually went on to do higher studies. You can sit down. Went on to do higher studies, and we're so excited that one of our children has gone to NYU, New York. She's got a full scholarship after her engineering degree in SSN College. Devika was a COVID orphan. Both her parents died of COVID. It was an incredible journey that she's gone through. She went through so many lows, like you. This is the batch actually of the COVID people passing out, and she has made it to New York, and we are so proud of her. So we've had Jayaprakash, Sanjay, and Mani Megle, who I told you are doctor and dentist, and then we have another 6 children who have actually taken up vocational job-oriented courses and will be placed pretty soon. Ravi, where's Ravi? Ravi is the reason why we've had all these placements and okay, he's saying it's Shivagami, but we know it's Ravi. The 24-25, we have 43 students passing out from STF. So there are still some who need jobs. So anyone here, we have really good children who are hardworking and strong and wanting jobs and eager. So please, if you have the ability to, please give them a chance. Planned in November and January. The alumni committee members have decided that next year onwards, they'll go back to their own schools. So these are schools that we have organized for them. So next year they said, why are you laughing? Yes, you will. They said that they'll go back to their own schools and conduct the motivational sessions, coordinating with their own teachers and headmasters. Will all of you please stand, the alumni committee members, Mani. Thank you all. Congratulations and best wishes to you. The fun-filled Alumni Day was conducted again at Good Shepherd School, thanks to our Shashi. We want to help and be part of the organization in the beginning, and then they fade away. But I have had, because of Sugun's goodwill, a group of friends that has not faltered at all, has stood steadfast in continuing his legacy of generosity and kindness. Without my trustees and management committee, who most of them have been with me right from the start, there has been absolutely no letting. Thank you so much for all of you for keeping this going. The foundation has really become a large family with parents, children, and grandchildren. Of course, I do miss Sugun, but I thank God for this foundation which has kept us together. Thank you.
Slides. And initial time allotment of 25 minutes, which Susan ruthlessly cut to 5 slides and 4 minutes and 32 seconds, out of which 5 seconds have already passed. So I'll go straight to the topic. Last year we turned 18, a major step for anybody. So we said, let's find out what we did in our adolescence and have we really made an impact. All of us felt we have made a huge impact. We all see the faces of our children. We all see these stories. But in terms of actually a much deeper study, we said was called for. And we said it's not just us who need to do it. So they've done a lot of analysis, and they went very deep into some of those things. Looked at the academic results. What happens to the families? He said 90% of the families have reported a much more positive attitude. We need to implement, although I think Gina and team have done a fantastic job. The investigators felt from IGM felt that we probably need to have strengthening alumni network, and they're doing a fabulous job. And I think, in spite of they all doing full day jobs, that they actually have. See, I mean, these are brilliant logos. These are logos of almost every major company, good company, not just in Chennai, but in our neighbors tell their children to study like my son and get marks and get ahead and all that. So these are some of the perceptions we have, qualitative perceptions that we have had. There's a whole lot of data that we have, and we will be happy to share. These are some qualitative quotes from students. Yeah, this is something we see often. I mean, the standard of living and standard of life in many of those homes have changed considerably. People have been able to afford simple things like a refrigerator or washing machine, television.
In 2016, when I was pursuing my second year of BE, my family's financial status was very low. We somehow managed to afford the first year fees, but we could not afford the second. As you all know, even our relatives respect us only when we have money.
With the MD, Ms. Aarti Krishna, to generously support the activities of the STF. We are eager to hear from you, sir, and be motivated.
There was never any doubt that women are smarter than men. Only an intelligent man will admit it. Mr. Ravi, she was ruthless with you. She snarled at me. She said, "How much time do you have for me?" I said, 10 minutes? No, 3 minutes. So I will try to restrict myself to the allotted time, 5 to 7 minutes. So, Sugan Thomas Foundation is celebrating. We are here to celebrate the 19th annual day of Sugan Thomas Foundation. STF, as the acronym goes, is all about children, for the children, by the children. In deference to that principle, preference, and priority, I will address by deviating from the script, acknowledging the children first and the chief guest. Dear children, students, respected chief guest, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to this 19th annual day function. When I was asked to speak from donor's perspective, and especially when I was told I would be one of the last set of speakers, I readily agreed because it suited me, because I know that I can say whatever I want and nobody can disagree or dispute. I have the last word. But today I find myself at a disadvantage because the other speakers who have spoken before me, all the children, have stolen my thunder. They have said whatever I wanted to say. So nothing for me to say. I'm just wondering what to say. So as I look around and I see so many children with eagerly, with expectant faces, I think there is a tremendous commitment. STF has played a very important role in shaping not only you as a person, but giving you an individuality, a respect for you, the society. Logically, from that individuality, you have to contribute to the society. That will pave the way for reaching the divinity. For me, that is the spirit of brotherhood of man and fatherhood of God. That is the third is, but I'm not done. So I said finally, now I'm going to say lastly, before Susan grimaces. Harmony is very important at home, with parents, siblings, having respect for all of them, having respect for your teachers, mentors, and finally with your friends or in office. Likewise, children, students, for me, there should be harmony in your thoughts, words, deeds. Amen.
Speech and inspiring speech. I give you 30% of my time because Sundaram Fasteners gives us 30% of our money. Just before I get into our financial status for last year, the whole of last year and where we are today, just want to run you through so most of you here, including the children, understand when Susan and I did our new stint 5 years back. It's actually January of 2020 that Susan became secretary and I became treasurer. And at that time, we had 41 students. And our expenses were 22 lakhs at that time, although we had received donations of 55 lakhs. So we were at kind of crossroads there, and then we took a plan. What is it we want to do from there? And the general consensus with Susan and I was we need to, because of the impact to children, that we need to double the organization rather than just keep it where it is. So the plan was to take in 100 students. So we knew we couldn't do this by ourselves. It subsequently, in the next year, when we started off, moved up to 75,000 rupees per student average cost, and it is now 90,000 rupees per student annual cost. This is because we also provide an additional 50,000 rupees per student in the final year for additional courses. Many of you know that many of the college students don't come out always job ready. So you need to provide them an extra course, so an additional 50,000 rupees is allocated there. In going through the subsequent years, we actually had our most successful year last year, which is the financial year 23-24, where we collected a total donations of 97 lakhs and 81,000 rupees and 159 rupees. We also have a promise which we make to all donors, which we have kept till date, that every pie donated will directly go to students. It will never be used for administrative purposes or for any other purposes of running the organization. And there is a very elaborate donor mapping system which is in place run by the financial side, which maps every donor to a student, and we have some other events also that take place where we have to give some small snacks and some gifts for the children, where we do have. So typically in the last year we had a net income including all of that, and also but there are certain one-time donors, so that actually gave us a small trial for the future. We had 2 years back in this in 23-24, we had a donor, a one-time donor who gave us 25 lakhs. And he was very clear it was a one-time donor. So we apportioned that money over 3 years to a set of students who are just sponsored by that single donor. And it allowed us in this year 23-24 to move up to 125 students. That is why from the 100 students we moved up to 125 students. It's because of that single donor. He doesn't want to be named, so I will not name him. It's an individual, it's not a corporate. So that is why you see that discrepancy. When we came back into this financial year, and so far we have collected 64 lakhs of donations, and the years we are still 4-5 months off. Many of our donors pay us during the rest of the year towards March. But currently with our 102 students, we have an expected outflow of 1 crore 7 lakhs this year. So yeah, we are a little behind, and probably we are including all interests and received donations so far in this financial year. We have 73 lakhs with us. So we have a deficit of about 34 lakhs. But we expect with our current donors to be able to match that amount. But unfortunately, because we didn't get any new donors in the last 1.5 years, we were unable to allocate any new budget for new students this year. Sorry to the selection committee that unfortunately we couldn't do it. But I think we have had some meetings internally, and we're trying our best to increase our funding for this year. And if we can, we have shortlisted, I think there's a shortlisting of about 50 students who are waiting in case we get the funds. But every year, if our current donor pattern remains the same, we will continue. The number of students that pass out will get replaced. So that's what we couldn't do last year because the extra students were from there.
Mr. Subbu Venkachalam, as he is fondly addressed, is a marketing and strategy professional with over a decade of experience in various roles within prominent organizations. Not taking the easy part of joining the family business, Mr. Subbu began his career in 2012 as a launch planning assistant at Loyola, after which he joined Royal Enfield, where he served in several high.
Just on that note, thank you so much for having me this evening. I met Susan a few months ago only, so I've not known about this foundation for very long. I've only learned about it a few months ago, but it came across when my wife and me were celebrating our son's first birthday very recently, and we wanted to start a foundation for education because we thought that was the most powerful tool in our society. So based on that, we started talking to the AML Foundation, which is a wing of our family, where we run charitable schools and hospitals predominantly. When we had this idea about funding children's education and and mentoring them, the first thing that everyone in the foundation spoke about was Susan. They all said, okay, you know what you're talking about, someone else already does. So I said, who? And then they said, Susan. So I said, okay, I have to meet her. So I did go and meet her, and I heard her story, and it was incredible. Everything that they've done for the last 19 years is just fantastic. And to be even a small part of it, or even be considered to be here, is a real privilege. So thank you so much for even. When you called me, I thought you were inviting my uncle or my dad. I don't know why you called me, but I'm still very honored to be here, and a chance to talk to young students. I will take it any day. So thank you so much, yeah, it's a real privilege. Thank you. Just to start things off, I know we're very behind time. Someone said that 5:30 they shut down everything. It's almost 6, so I won't take up time. When I was younger, annual days were the worst because the chief guest always took the longest time to speak, and everyone wanted to go home. And this guy with the suit will always come and keep on talking. So I will not be that person. I will try to keep it as short as I can. So, today when we were just talking, me and my wife, about all the things that you have already achieved. In the report, you mentioned that only 6 kids you had sort of been able to touch this year, and you said it was a low. That was the word used. You said it was a low, and I completely disagree with you. I think that what you have done is phenomenal just from the report itself. So IIT Madras had this fabulous report that they read. In that report, the first 2 points were 90% of the students, siblings, and family members are also touched by this education. So that 6 actually becomes a much larger number. It's not just 6 students. After that, you also mentioned that neighbors get inspired by these children. So that 6 could be 12, it could be 24, we don't know that number is yet. So that 6 is not a low number by any means at all. It's probably a much, much larger number that we don't know about. How many people these 6 kids have inspired or your foundation has inspired is a high. So even if it's one student that you guys in this foundation have been able to sort of help and really drive through, I think that's a fantastic achievement. So I really, really think that it's not a low, and I think you don't have.
By all the motivating messages given by our esteemed speakers of the day. I especially thank our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Subramanian Venkatachalam. Your commitment in empowering others is truly commendable, and we are excited to strive for excellence just as you have exemplified. Dear benefactors, we recognize and appreciate your presence and support in lighting up many lives in collaboration with STF. We would not be here to celebrate this story without your.
No, it was actually more important than anything else. SFL speaking is very, very important.
Yeah, because they are trying to pull the plug.
Yeah.
So after this,